Everybody, and welcome once again to the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. As you can see, Sam's not here. Sam's away, but here is the coach of CHS Lady Spartans, Michelle Harder. Michelle, hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing?
I'm not doing too bad.
Your girls are not doing too bad. Let's put it that way, okay?
No, they've actually, we've been doing some really nice things, seeing improvement with each and every game.
Yes.
Very competitive. They just never give up when they're out there, and they're a lot of fun to watch.
They certainly are, and you play some tough teams.
We have played some tough teams. We start off with New Pal and Decatur Central and Mount Vernon. But you can see the girls with each and every game get better, get a little stronger with the basketball. And, those are good teams for us to go up against.
Absolutely,
and types of teams that if you want to advance later on in the tournament, you'll meet teams that are similar to them.
Sure, that's right. Coaches often say this is just the practice season for the tournaments.
Yeah, and that's one thing we talk about. Yeah, our first 22 games, just getting us prepared for the tournament, and just to continue to get better with each game and each practice, and we're seeing that with the girls.
What are you expecting this weekend? You're playing another 2 games?
We play, Friday at Centerville, and then Saturday at home. We're back home finally after having five games on the road against Anderson. But 2 different types of teams that we'll see. Where, Anderson, a little more up pace, maybe look to trap a little bit, maybe play a little full court, where Centerville's more half court team, some man-to-man. So, be very good for us with the 2 different types of teams that we play and some things that we can work on in both of those games.
And the teams that you've played, do they compare to Anderson in any way?
I would say, maybe with their quickness, Decatur Central, they're not quite as strong as what Decatur Central was, but they're quick, they're athletic, they look to attack the basket, they'll look to do a little trapping. So kind of similar that way as far as, that half-court trapping type of pressure. Centerville, they'll probably be comparable. I would say maybe like Shenandoah that we just played on Friday night or Saturday night. So some similar teams and some things that we can take away and work on.
Both teams this weekend are 1-3. Centerville has lost 3 ball games. I think all on the road, or maybe that's Anderson. One of those teams is at home for the first time, and they're 1-3. So.
It could be. I think it's Centerville. I think they've played 3 games away. Yes, and they're home Friday for the first time. So, when you get back home after being on the road for a while, you still have a little bit of those nerves coming back on the home floor. Right. But it will definitely be nice for us to get back in the Spartan Bowl on Saturday.
Sure will be. Speaking of nerves. Do the girls show any nervousness, or is that good or is that bad?
Well, I've been coaching for a long time. I played for a long time, and I still get nervous for each and every game. And you're always going to have those little bit of nerves. But we talk about when you get out there, if you're feeling nervous, work that off on that defensive end. And, nerves kind of help you, go out there and play hard and get in the flow of the game. And so it's always good to have a little bit of nerves when you step out there.
Well, it's important that they get off to a good start. There's nothing like getting off to a good beginning, is there?
Definitely, and that's one thing we had talked about with some of the games that we played. Our shots just didn't fall early on, and when you get off to a good start and you start seeing some shots fall, it helps you relax, and it seems like the basket gets a little bit bigger for you. And we saw that Saturday night at the Shenandoah game where we were hitting some shots, and we relaxed and picked up our defensive intensity, got some easy baskets that way. So that definitely does help when you get off to that good start.
That's right. If you have to play from behind all the time, it's a little difficult, isn't it, to change your strategy?
Well, it is difficult playing from behind because you have to use so much energy to get yourself back in the ball game, and then that kind of wears and tears on you, and that momentum and all that you're using to get back in the game kind of towards the end might take a little bit away from your legs, and definitely a lot less stressful playing even or playing up and not having to come from behind.
Coaches like to say we want to make our opponent uncomfortable. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, you want to get out there and make them do things that they're not used to doing.
Take them out of their game.
Take them right out of the flow of the game. And so oftentimes that's why you change up maybe some defenses that you're doing, put a little more pressure on the basketball to try to get them to feel uncomfortable, because you don't want them to get in the flow. Because when teams get in the flow of a game, then that's, they score a lot easier.
Sure.
That comes back down on the defensive end. They pick up their intensity a little bit more. So making them uncomfortable. And, we talk about guard them the way you don't like to be guarded.
Yes.
And so take away their strengths and make them play to their weakness, so that makes them uncomfortable.
That's important. A lot of things go into a game, don't they?
Well, yeah, definitely. Looking at what the other team's going to try to do to you, getting the girls prepared so that they know what to expect when they step out on the floor, looking at what offense they run, so defensively maybe you can take away some of those strengths, and you just look at individual players and try to let the girls know, here's what they like to do. She catches the ball, she likes to go over her right shoulder, or she likes to drive right, take away that right hand. So all those little things, you can't tell them every little thing that's going to happen out there, but any little thing that you can pick out to kind of help them on the floor and take away something that the other team likes to do is very beneficial.
Do you watch other teams before you play them? Or you scout them? The days of old-time scouting are gone, though, aren't they?
Well, yeah, going to some of the gyms and watching games when COVID hit, you couldn't do that anymore.
I see.
But thankfully, with Huddle, you can get exchange game films with other teams so that you can sit down and watch them. The girls can get on and watch them. So that's beneficial in that way. I do like to see teams in person if at all possible, because sometimes you watch them on a game film, you might not think that they're as quick as they are, or they don't look as big as they are. And when you get to see them in person, then you can see some of those things. But a lot of times it's difficult to get to games because you're playing the same night that they're playing, or you look at their schedule and they don't play again until they play you. So it's been very nice with Huddle and having the game film available for us.
How's your team made up with seniors and juniors and sophomores?
We do have a combination of all three.
Okay.
We have our three seniors that are back this year with Sarah Rubel, Abby Schwartz, and Amy Rao, and they've been great leaders out on the floor. And it's nice to have your seniors with that leadership and 4 years under their belt. They kind of know what to expect. They understand the game planning and what it is that we want them to be able to do. We have a mix of underclassmen that go with them as well. We do have juniors, we have sophomores, and we have freshmen.
Sure.
So we're really, when you talk about especially at the guard position, we're younger with our freshmen, our sophomores, and then in our post and wings we have our seniors and our juniors that are playing there. But it's a nice mix of girls out there on the floor.
You've had the seniors since you came with them. They came with you. I'm not sure how to say that.
Yeah. Yep. This is their fourth year with me, and it's always nice to have those seniors that have been with you for 4 years, because again, like I said, they understand the program, what it is that we want to do out there on the floor. And this group of seniors, like I said, have just been tremendous leaders. Their work ethic, they come out, they push each other, and they're having fun. And they enjoy being around the other girls out there on the floor, and we're starting to see them mesh a little bit. It takes time, even though they've been there for 4 years, and maybe they've played with some of the girls last year as well. But you have new girls coming in, so it just takes some time to mesh and work together and understand what each other likes to do. And we're starting to see that happen with the girls out there on the floor. A little bit more of an up tempo. Looking to push the ball defensively. Been playing primarily man-to-man this year, and they're doing a great job with that.
It's great to have seniors because the underclassmen look up to them.
Definitely. And, like I said, with these three seniors, they've just been doing a great job. They help each other out there on the floor if they are not where they're supposed to be. They let each other know. They help them if they're not running the play right, kind of explain to them where they need to be. So it's nice to have seniors that are willing to do that and be those vocal leaders for you.
Some of the underclassmen playing JV games?
Yes, we do have a couple of our underclassmen that play some JV, just because with your underclassmen you want to get them as much playing time
Absolutely,
as possible. And when you have 5 quarters available each night, so you can play a combination. Some of them play 3 quarters and then they get 2 varsity. Some maybe 1 quarter JV, 4 quarters varsity. But it's just one of those things that as much playing time as you can get them, they get in the flow a little bit better, they relax, and they start to understand, what we want them to do.
Who's helping you this year in coaching?
This year I have Kevin Perry, who's coaching the JV. He was our 8th grade coach last year, so it's nice to have him bump up, and he knows the girls, the younger girls that are coming up, and so that's been nice. And then Eric Garrison is also helping. He was going to do the freshman team this year, but since we just didn't have the numbers for that or a C team, he's just helping both Kevin and I as an assistant.
That's great. Many schools don't have a freshman team because of the numbers, right?
Right. There have been a lot of schools that aren't having a C team or freshman team. There's even been some schools that were, not even having a JV team this year because they don't have enough players. So, that's one thing that we'd like to get the numbers built up, and it just depends. There's cycles that you go through with the number of girls that come out. So building that youth program helps get the younger girls excited and interested in playing and wanting to stick with it.
Now, the middle school girls basketball doesn't start until after the first of the year.
Correct. So they've been doing some open gyms, and then they'll start up in December with practice, and then they'll start their games there in January. So a little bit different than what the boys do. So it'll be a little while before they get going, and we can see them play a little bit.
Any 5'10" or 5'11s down in the ranks?
We do have some girls that are a little taller, yes. That's always nice to have some height and that
that's
coming up.
Sure,
so,
that's good.
Yeah.
Good news. Now, do they have, like the boys, a red and a white team, or?
We have had in the past a red and white team. This year we'll just have to see how numbers are, and if we don't have enough for a red and white team, then we'll have a 7th and an 8th grade team, and they'll get to play games. And sometimes, like last year, I know they had just one team where they practiced together, and they did a red schedule and a white schedule and tried to mix them up a little bit. But that gets, for some girls, if they're playing both ways, that gets a lot of games that they're playing and maybe not practicing as much. Because practice is where you get in there and you can work on some of the things you want to work on, and then the games where you go out there and show what you've been working on. So
do they play 6-minute quarters?
Yes, they do play 6-minute quarters, and then our JV's at 7 minutes.
And the IHSA doesn't oversee it, though. Do they rule like they do the varsity and JV teams?
No, they don't.
So there's no limit on what the girls can play.
Right, unless we just put a limit with that. But the IHSA doesn't rule over the middle schools.
Well, they're busy with us, with high schools. So.
Yeah, they have a lot of other things that they're busy with.
That's right.
So that would just be one more thing on their plate.
During the summer, what do you guys do? You worked out and practiced? And...
We did have summer workouts this year. We went a couple times during the week, and we played in the league in Shelbyville. So just got the nice thing with that is we get to play some teams that we don't see during the season.
Sure.
Some of the teams we do, but it's always nice to play some different teams. So, we come in and work out a couple times during the summer and then go and play. We played for like 5 weeks. And you get 2 games a night when you go there and play.
That's great.
Yes.
You weren't able to do this when we had the COVID.
No, this was actually really, I would say, probably our first normal summer of being able to do some things.
You were 4 years, and your first 3 were less than normal.
Correct.
Let's put it that way.
Definitely they were. You're right. They weren't your typical type of summer that you could have, or even typical season that you could have.
That's
because
right.
Quarantining and having games canceled or postponed because of that. So, it was nice this summer to be able to get in there and work on some things and be able to go and play and like to continue to build on that in the upcoming years.
TV3 was at the ball game with Shenandoah Saturday night, and we have a tape from there. Let's look at it right now. And Michelle, you can sort of narrate, tell us what we're seeing. Here's the screen up here and everything.
I think that was Addie, our freshman, hit her first 3 there. That kind of, when you see those shots go in early, helps relax.
Well, sure.
And Abby running the floor well. Have our head up looking down the floor.
Look good, the banks them in. Was the girls hitting some threes, are they?
We did, yes.
All right.
On Saturday, we hit some threes, and that was nice to see. Because we have girls that are good shooters. We just had some shots that were going in and out for us early on, and Saturday we saw it all come together and started hitting some shots.
Shenandoah playing a pretty good defense, though, on you, so.
And they played a lot of a zone against us, so it was nice to see the girls work the ball around, find the open areas. Nice little backdoor cut there with Abby squaring up and hitting Addie on the backside.
Very good shots, yeah.
And our defense, especially, in that second half, really picked up, started getting some easy opportunities for us. There's Abby hitting her three. So just scored in a variety of different ways, off of our defense, off of our half court, transition. That's what you like to see. And a lot of girls getting into the scoring column
nice
as well.
Steal.
Yep, Sarah played the passing lanes really well there. Looking to break the press. Nice little reverse layup from Haley.
Some excellent shots, excellent scoring.
Naya with a nice little Euro step through there. So it was a really nice team win for us.
Absolutely. A lot of girls helped their scoring average, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, and it was nice to get all the girls in and give them a chance to play. And, it's some games you can do that. Some games you don't get to get everybody in. So it was always nice, to be able to play all of the girls.
Well, it was a good win for the girls, and I'm sure they were happy about that.
Yeah, it was definitely a great win for us.
Yes.
And like I said, a very good team win, and we scored in a variety of ways. We scored off of our defense. We scored breaking their press, their pressure in our half court, getting some offensive rebounds, kicking out, looking to hit the shot. So, it was really nice to see the ball start to fall for us.
Very possible you could win 2 ball games this weekend.
Yes, they're both very winnable games for us. Continue to come out, and work hard this week in practice, get prepared for Centerville on Friday and then Anderson on Saturday. But yeah, very winnable games for us as long as we continue to come out and play defense like we've been playing defense and continue to work the ball and together as a team and have that confidence to step up and hit your shot when you're open. We talked to him Saturday. Every time you shoot, you have to believe you're the best shooter on the floor.
Right.
And believe that it's going to go in, and we saw them relax a little bit with that.
You talked about Anderson and their speed. Can you practice against that?
The big thing with Anderson is we do have girls that have speed, and that's one thing that's a little different for us this year. But they do like to do a little half court where they jump you and trap you. So we'll work on some of those things, just being prepared. The biggest thing is just being strong with the basketball and not allowing their up-tempo pressure on defense to speed us up. And, early on, that happened to us a little bit, but we've seen the girls start to be a little stronger with the basketball, slow themselves down a little bit. And you're seeing the game slow down for some of the younger players now as well.
In all games, it's turnovers tell the story, don't they?
Turnovers, definitely, and we've seen those with each game come down.
That's good.
It's very good, and that's been one thing that has been our Achilles heel in the past, is because when you turn the ball over, it gives them extra opportunities to score, and a lot of times
takes your chance away.
Yes, definitely. A lot of times they're easy opportunities for them if it's in the as you're transitioning and they get a steal off of that. But we've been doing a much better job. Like I said, the biggest part is just being strong, and our ball handling. We're seeing our ball handling improve as well.
You can see improvement in every game, it seems like, and that's so important.
It definitely is, and that that's one thing that the girls this year you hear coaches talk about getting 1% better each night, and we're seeing the girls really push themselves in practice, push each other in practice to get better, and we're starting to see that on the basketball floor against our opponents.
And great when you get some wins under your belt, that builds a great deal of confidence.
Well, definitely, when you do get some wins, it does help with the confidence. It helps them. You just feel better about everything that's going on, and it makes all that hard work worth the effort. And the pushing each other in practice and doing all those little things that we talk about doing. It just makes it so much more worthwhile for them, and they just see their confidence grow.
It seems like the girls, almost like the football team, they're all gelling together and they want to help each other, and they not only want to be the star, but they just want to contribute and win a ball game.
Yeah, and that's been one nice thing with this group of girls is that they're competitive. They don't care who's scoring. They don't care who's out there doing what. They just want to win. And you're seeing that with each game. Some of the games we got down, but there's no quit. They continue to go out there and play hard and fight and battle and chip away and give themselves an opportunity to be in the ball game. And that's what really all that you can ask is they go out there each and every night and they leave it on the floor, and you've seen that with them.
Well, you look at it, it's we instead of me.
Correct, and that's that is one big thing when you talk about a team is playing for the we and not for the me part of me, and we do see that with these girls, and a lot of it has to do with the leadership from our seniors, and the unselfishness that you see from them out there on the floor, and just wanting to compete each and every night and wanting to get better.
Michelle, you and your staff are setting the example, I think.
Well, and it has with the staff. It's been so nice this year with being able to. You can get on the girls a little bit.
Oh, sure.
They respond.
Sure.
But it's nice that they hear the same things from each and every one of us.
Right.
Maybe in a little different way because everybody explains things differently, and that's also nice because sometimes maybe I might say something and they might not get it right then and there, but if Kevin or Eric bring it up again and they maybe say it a little bit differently, and then they're like, oh, okay, I see what you're talking about. But yes, it's been really nice this year with just like I said, the competitive atmosphere that we have, the willingness to listen and want to try what we're asking them to do.
Well, they're doing great. They're improving in every game. And let's take a look at this week in sports. At the middle school, they'll have basketball with the white teams will be at St. Michael on Monday. On Tuesday, the red teams home with Newcastle. On Thursday, the red teams will be at Union County. On Friday night, the Lady Spartans basketball at Centerville at 6 and 7:30 game times. On Saturday, Spartan varsity wrestling at Lawrence Township. That's the varsity team, as we mentioned. The JV wrestling team will be at Yorktown on Saturday. On Spartan basketball at Spartan Bowl, 1 o'clock scrimmage with Nicetown. The Lady Spartans basketball home with Anderson at bowl games at 6 and 7:30 at Spartan Bowl. So a lot of basketball for the folks. They can spend all Saturday at Spartan Bowl.
Yeah, definitely. They can come watch the boys scrimmage and then go have some dinner and come back and watch the girls play against Anderson.
Hope they do that, right.
And that's one nice thing. We've had some really nice crowds. It's nice to have the crowds there and have them cheering on the girls because they have been playing so hard and they're continuing to get better, and it's just nice to see the community support.
Well, the kids work off of the fans' enthusiasm, don't they?
Oh, definitely. When you have your fans there cheering you on and just that atmosphere, it helps feed that intensity out there on the floor, and it makes it fun for the girls.
And if you can take the other team's crowds out, that's so important.
Yeah, you're right. It is important when you can
have them sitting on their hands.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
When they get quiet and your crowd's nice and loud, that really helps, and it helps with the girls when they're out there on the floor hearing that from the community.
Spartan Bowl puts on quite a show with the crowd and the band and everything, and the cheerleaders, and it's great.
It really is. It's nice.
Great atmosphere, isn't it?
It is a very good atmosphere to come in and play, and that again, that just says a lot about the programs here at Connorsville, and the support that they get. It's nice to have the band there, the cheerleaders.
Yes.
We all appreciate having them there.
Yeah. And I've heard from other teams when they come into Spartan Bowl, they sort of stand there with awe for a while. And that contributes to the home team's advantage.
Yeah, definitely. You do hear them when they walk by, and they're looking down at the bowl, and they're amazed at the facility that we have, and it is just a great place to play.
Yes, it is. Great for the spectators and everyone, and we hope it continues that way for a long, long time.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, right. Well, you and your staff are doing a great job, and the girls are to be congratulated on their season, how well they're playing, and we got some good games coming up.
Yes, definitely do have some good games coming up, and like I said, the girls are working hard. They just continue to improve with each and every practice, each and every game, and so if they haven't been out to see them play, it's definitely worth the trip to come out and watch them play.
We've got a holiday tourney coming up. Between the holidays?
We do, yes. We're going to have our big tournament again, boy and girl tournament that we had last year during Christmas time. So that was a fun experience last year, even though we have to get up early and play early, but it's just nice to be able to watch the boys play as well when we're there, so it's nice.
And who'll be your competitors?
Madison is coming back.
Okay.
And Winchester is also coming back, and then Lawrence North is going to come down and play.
Okay.
So got a new team in there, and
that's great.
definitely a different style of team than what we had with last year. But it's nice to have both those Madison and Winchester coming back, and then it'll be nice to see Lawrence North there as well.
So the girls open the tourney, do they?
Yes, we'll open the tourney. And my guess is I think it's Madison that we're going to play. I'm assuming it'll be a 9 o'clock start like it was last year.
9 o'clock in the morning.
But yeah, an early start. So, the girls will open up with the first couple games, and then the boys will play after that.
Yeah, that'll be a great day. Is it sort of like the shootout that you had at Indianapolis? There is a champion, I suppose, comes away with.
We do have, yes. We don't give trophies or anything like that, but the two winning teams, yes, will play in the later game in the afternoon, and the two teams that lose will play earlier on. So it is, it's not who you're going to, definitely know who you're going to play for sure, but.
It all counts on your record?
Everything counts on your record, yep. So.
You mentioned you can play 22 ball games?
We can play, yes, 22 ball games and then go into the tournament.
Okay, so that's another rule from the IHSAA.
Right, it used to be 20, and then a few years ago they added 2 more ball games, so it makes it kind of condensed for us to get all the games in. And,
yes.
But, it's 22.
Well, you've had 5 already.
We have had 5 already. It's hard to believe that it's, we're just started and we've had 5 ball games. So, it goes by very quickly.
It certainly does. And your season runs through February.
Yes.
And then it's hard to believe in March you guys are in tournament play.
Well, actually, we start our tournament at the end of January.
That's right, yeah, last few days of January.
Yep, and so state tournament is the last week, I think, in February. So it happens quickly, that's for sure.
Do you know the sectional location yet for
I haven't heard for sure. I was kind of hoping it was here, but I'm not for sure if that's the rotation that we're in right now or not.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
That would be, yes, that would be very nice. That we wouldn't have to travel and we get to play here at the Bowl. We would take that one for sure.
Well, Michelle, your guys are doing a great job for Lady Spartans. They're responding, and that's so important. And I know they will keep doing so. Yeah,
it definitely is. It's been nice to see, the improvement from the girls, the excitement for the program, and, all the support that we're getting.
I imagine you look back at the 4 years when you started, a big, huge change.
Definitely a huge change, just with the consistency and working on the fundamentals and starting with the youth program. I mean, it's a process and it takes some time.
It's been a long, hard roll, but it's beginning to pay off.
Definitely. It has been a long process and it's been difficult, but we're seeing the benefits of all that hard work.
Congratulations to you and everyone involved in the Lady Spartans program.
Thank you, Fran. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody, for watching this edition of the Spartan Sports Report. Hope you've enjoyed it. Michelle Harder has been our guest. And thanks for watching, and have a nice evening.